my own historical research, I don't think I knew how long the Polish Constitution was in place, and I don't think I knew that it was the first constitution in continental Europe, and we're one of the first two countries in the world to have a written constitution. I think most people here know the British don't technically have a written constitution like we do. There's plenty of English law, but they didn't have a Polish. So, if you can talk about what this has meant to the Polish community, both in the old countries, my mother used to call Europe, or here in America, the Jet story here.
Are here tonight with us. And now I see how big is Polonia in Orland Park. So you can make a big applause for yourself. I would like to thank you for the invitation and for organizing such a great event. It's my great pleasure to present here Consul General who is in Poland right now, so she couldn't be with us today. And I see that really we have a vibrant Polonia in Orland Park, and I hope that it will be the first of many of our meetings with mayor, with some officials, and with you here. If you are speaking about the Constitution of Vermeil, let me just present some remarks on it.
Good evening everyone. Dobry wieczór wszystkim. Myślę, że pan konsul wszystko powiedział na temat konstytucji, ale tak jak tutaj właśnie major miasteczka tu Orland Park, w ogóle dziękujemy za zaproszenie, że możemy tutaj razem z wami dzisiaj być. Tak jak powiedział, była to pierwsza konstytucja w Europie, a drugą na świecie. Bardzo ważna konstytucja dla nas Polaków, gdzie właśnie społeczeństwo polskie mogło mieć jeszcze większą wolność, swobodność, ale przez to mogliśmy dążyć do jeszcze lepszej, suwerennej i bezpiecznej Polski, za co właśnie dziękujemy tym pokoleniom. A my tutaj w Stanach Zjednoczonych jako Związek Podhalan w Północnej Ameryce staramy się właśnie przekazać te rzeczy następnym pokoleniom, żeby ta tożsamość dalej tutaj tkwiła i żeby młode pokolenie o tym nie zapomniało. Dziękuję.
Maybe I'll discuss a couple of points of view that come from the Polish community in regards to the 3rd of May Polish Constitution Day, because especially here in Chicago, it's an important event for Polonia. Let me see and kind of gauge the audience. How many of you have ever participated in the 3rd of May Polish Constitution Day parade in Chicago? All right. Good showing.
Almost everyone.
And how many of you, since I'm representing the Polish Highlanders Alliance of North America, and I'm here with the president, Jan Król, how many of you have ever visited the Highlander House in Chicago on Archer Avenue and are familiar with the Polish Highlanders? All right. It's a good audience. Everybody knows who the Polish Highlanders are, mainly, so you guys know exactly. For over 100 years, Chicago Polonia has upheld the importance of this 3rd of May Constitution. It is an event like no other in the world where a group of people are so connected to these ideals of liberty, of freedom, that unfortunately were crushed soon after Poland decided to enact the Constitution. But we uphold this memory, these principles here in Chicago as an ethnic community. And let me just mention briefly that we are so grateful as representatives of an immigrant community here in Chicago and the suburbs, Mayor Dodge, that you welcomed us here, that you want to discuss future opportunities with us, because we as immigrants, we understand how grateful we are to this wonderful country of the United States for welcoming us, for giving us opportunities to grow businesses, to start businesses, to nurture our families, to develop individually. We're grateful for that. We want everybody to know that. But there's the other side of it as well, are a great addition to this country. And the Polish community is part of this wonderful fabric in the United States that consists of immigrants that came here long time ago and those who came here more recently. So thank you, Mayor, for having us. And I see you have the most wonderful tie on. I don't know if everybody sees it, but it has the Polish Highlander, we call it kind of our own insignia. But thank you, this is very special.
Związek Podhalan, tak widzicie, jest jedną z największych organizacji polonijnych tutaj w Stanach Zjednoczonych. Jak pewnie niektórzy wiedzą, za 3 lata będziemy właśnie obchodzić stulecie Związku Podhalan. Naprawdę jest to długoterminowa organizacja, która non-stop trwała. Przy Związku Podhalan zrzesza się 87 kół, które do tej pory może około ponad 60 działają. Wiadomo, niektóre domarły śmiercią naturalną, gdyż nie było młodszego pokolenia, żeby ich przejęły, ale mamy ponad 20 zespołów góralskich, a w nich działających około 1500 właśnie młodzieży i dzieci. Z tego jesteśmy naprawdę bardzo dumni. Chcemy przenosić się na południowe tutaj przedmieścia. Ja myślę, że sami dobrze wiecie, że dużo właśnie polonijnych rodzin góralskich przemieszcza się właśnie z Chicago tutaj na przedmieścia. Tutaj jest Orland Park, Lehman, Homer Glen i właśnie to by było jeszcze lepszym miejscem dla nas, żeby właśnie ta społeczność jeszcze więcej do nas przychodziła, a przez to właśnie społeczność, która może nie mogła dojechać tam, a która ma jakieś pokrewieństwo właśnie polskie, a chciałaby właśnie do nas odwiedzić, zobaczyć jak ta młodzież, jak przekazujemy tradycje, kultury młodszym pokoleniom, jak dbamy o patriotyzm, o to, żeby nasza wiara, religia i wszystko, co wynieśliśmy z domu, nie zaginęła, które przekazujemy dalej, właśnie, żeby tutaj na przedmieściach, może Orland Park, jak się uda, blisko highwayu, który łączy właśnie wszystkie strony i północne i południowe, ale który jest też blisko Munster, Indiana, gdzie znajduje się właśnie nasze sanktuarium ojców karmelitów, a są to właśnie naszym patronatem i nasza Matka Boska Ludźmieszko się tam znajduje, także to ja myślę, że to było naprawdę dobre miejsce, blisko do naszego sanktuarium i bliskie dla każdego. Dziękuję.
We'll speak both Polish and English for our audiences. Maybe I'll take the reign. I'm also a history buff, Mayor Dodge. Even though by training I'm a business professional and in finance, but I would like to perhaps start the topic with a little bit of a historical background. So the Polish Highlanders is one of the more prominent Polish organizations in America, very active. I think there's, in fact, I think we're the leaders when it comes to the opportunity to entice younger generations, people who were already born here, of parents that were born here, so second, third generations, to upkeep the traditions and the culture, get them interested and involved with our organization. So I think we are the leader in the overall American Polish community when it comes to those very important sort of demographic aspects, because those are serious challenges that Polonia is facing in the United States. But we, as an organization, have been around almost 100 years. A couple of years ago, we celebrated our 95th anniversary. Traditionally, the Polish ethnic community, the Polish Highlander community, was located mainly on the south side of the city. Some of them were located around Pilsen neighborhood, St. Adalbert's Church, St. Anne's, Anowo, Wojciechowo in Polish. Very strong Polish communities surrounded around those Catholic church parishes. Some of them were located around back of the yards communities. The ones that came here worked very hard and diligently within the industries that were prominent at the time. And in 1928, the Polish Highlanders Alliance of North America came into existence. And we've had our locations on, the first one was back in the Yards neighborhood, and then the second one in 1980s was built in Chicago on Archer Avenue. But we kind of follow where the demographics lead us. Throughout the years when the Polish community Americanized, got woven into the American fabric, they also spread out to the suburbs like the general population. And so that's one reason, one main reason. But also another reason is I think we need kind of more open space for ourselves. Polish Highlanders are known as the really lovers of nature. You know, we come from the mountain region, we love the freedom. We come from a very pastoral type of a culture. We'd love to have an opportunity to find a place that would give us that type of a capability to have more land, plus our general location. So those are the main reasons. And historically, in 1950s, one of our presidents, after he retired from being the president of the Polish Highlanders Alliance, he actually moved to Orland Park and bought himself a huge farm, and he was raising, I think it was pigs or some other animals. But so there's that connection with Orland Park, and we're really sort of excited about discussing the opportunity of creating and looking for establishing a cultural center here in Orland Park.
America is exceptional, and I think that it draws a lot of people from other countries. It was just interesting for me to learn about Polish Constitution Day. So one of the things that we'd like to do in Orland is celebrate all the different groups in Orland Park and Polonią, am I saying that correct?
Polonią.
Polish in Orland Park is a pretty big group. As you guys probably know, there's probably 10 or 15% of the population at least are Polish in Orland Park, identifiable. So it's good to do this, and we kind of look forward to doing more of that, so we appreciate that.
Thank you.
In terms of, we love, so two things. Orland Park would love to have the Polish Cultural Center, full stop. So just, we'd love to see this develop in Orland Park. And we're also going to try and find a way to keep doing things like this again, because I think it's really important that America understands its fabric, and this is part of the fabric of America, so we're going to do this again in some way, shape, or form. And we've been thinking of ideas around how do we celebrate all of the international flavor that's in Orland Park. So I'm going to call on you guys again, but are there any definitive next steps that we want to tell folks about? Or what comes next? What do we need to do? What's next?
I think at this point we're in an exploratory stage, and this is probably one of the most pertinent, most important aspects of it, to come to the community, to introduce ourselves, to talk about who we are, what we have to offer as a community, to make sure that there is a mutual fit. And so thank you again for the village board, for the president's welcome here, for the mayor's welcome, because this is how these relationships develop. We have a current location in Chicago. We are in a good financial standing. We are looking for opportunities. We're looking for land throughout the suburbs. So we are in that stage where we're obviously surrounding ourselves with specialists when it comes to real estate issues, when it comes to law that comes to be very important in these types of matters. But also, it's a given, and an important factor is establishing good relationship with the community leadership, with not just this local community, but even stateswide. We want to make sure that our representatives are aware of who we are, what our goals are, and what our capabilities are as well. Perhaps there would be some alignment and even we're hoping for future support if we're able to present this type of a cultural center idea and entice folks to support us in these endeavors.
Let us know what we can do.
Ja myślę, że my, górole, przyzwyczailiśmy się do tego miejsca i żeby tu nikt nie zrozumiał źle, to miejsce dla nas jest naprawdę bardzo ważne. Jest to przepiękne miejsce, przepiękny budynek, gdzie mamy dużo sal, na których naprawdę zawsze co tydzień prawie, bo w ciągu roku mamy 28 wydarzeń samego związku, a do tego jeszcze dochodzą jakieś organizacje właśnie zespołowe i naszych kół. Ale z biegiem czasu, jak sami widzicie, miejsce, gdzie się teraz znajdujemy, czasami staje się bardziej niebezpieczne, więcej ciasne, gdzie nie ma właśnie tych miejsc parkingowych. Myślę, że dawno właśnie osoby mieszkały blisko domu góralskiego w Chicago, tam koło Pulaski, Archer, gdzie właśnie dużo pewnie na nogach przychodzi do tego miejsca parkingu. Nie trzeba było tak wiele, jak właśnie potrzebujemy w tych czasach. I to nie jest tylko zadanie tego zarządu, co teraz jest, bo myśl o działce już jest ponad 12-13 lat i to było właśnie kontynuowane, zbierane i teraz, kiedy właśnie stoimy, jak powiedział, twardo na gruncie i możemy coś dalej działać, chcielibyśmy właśnie coś takiego tutaj zorganizować i myślę, że przy pomocy właśnie wszystkich, jak to mówię, w jedności siła, gdzie możemy razem wspólnie polsko-amerykańsko stworzyć właśnie ten nowy dom Podhalan, gdzie będziemy z tego wszyscy korzystać przez następne, myślę, wiele, wiele lat. Dziękuję.
Jan just said, we are very glad and very happy that such an idea occurred here in Orland Park to create the Polish-American Cultural Center. However, the idea is one thing. The support from the mayor's office is also the other thing. But the most important are the people. You are the most important because you will create this center here and you should be very active in the whole process when the center will be created and then after it will be established here. Please be very active in all the activities that the center will perform, also in cooperation with Polish Consulate, because the people are most important for such places. There are nothing without you. So please help us, help Mayor's office to create the best Polish American Cultural Center in the whole Midwest. I know that you are able to do it, and I'm sure that you will do it with a little bit of help of our friends here and our friends here. So thank you very much, and we really count on you. And we also do our best from the side of the consulate to help the center to exist and to develop and to gather more and more of our Polish citizens. So thank you, and I keep my fingers crossed for all the actions here.
I did ask how many folks are familiar with the Polish Highlanders, how many visited our location, but for those who perhaps aren't and who have never visited the Polish Highlanders Alliance location, what do we offer to the community? What do we bring to the table? What do we represent? We have over 20 dance and song youth groups that from kids ranging from 2-3 years old to to their late 20s that practice traditional folk songs and dance, and this is not even in their mother tongue, this is in their grandparents or great-grandparents' tongue because they were already born in the United States. But as we've brought this subject before, this is part of this beautiful American fabric. It adds something more color to it. It doesn't take away anything. It's a beautiful thing when a child can speak another language, when a child that was born here of American parents can practice these steps sing in Polish Highlander dialect, which is very, it's different and very specific. So it just builds on this culture and creates another layer of a character for a child's development. We offer great cuisine in our location. We have multitude of different bands that play Polish Highlander music throughout different restaurants around Chicagoland. So we offer this sort of, for us, it's a precious culture, but we want to share it with a broader community. We think it's something worth to recognize, worth to uphold, and that's something that we'd love to bring to Orland Park one day.
All right. Thank you. All right, the question was, she's not asking about my clothing, she's asking about Jan's clothing. So the question was, she wanted to know about the significance of the clothing, which I think is important.
For me, my style is very important. Definitely here in the United States is more important. Even like if you live in Poland, they show me who I am and where I come from. Thank you. 10 akrów to jest takie minimum, gdzie możemy zamknąć właśnie ten budynek, miejsce parkingowe i miejsce na jakieś wydarzenia plenerowe, czyli w zewnątrz przez właśnie okres letni. Myślimy właśnie o miejscu, gdzie przynajmniej 1000 ludzi by się zmieściło i myślimy, że koszt takiego przynajmniej by był 10-15 milionów dolarów. That depends what we'll be doing inside, but we don't know that yet. Okay.
Did she just volunteer to give $1 million? That's what I thought I heard.
So I have a question in regards to the project itself. I know because Jan Król is a friend of mine, so he told me a little bit about the project. We know that there is a piece of land in Orland Park and the value of it is $3 million. Do you have an idea how big of the center do you want to build, like how many square feet and how much will be the cost of the building itself?
All right, we're down to one microphone. Give it a second.
Thank you.
Like I said, we're in exploratory stage. This was one of the properties that we really liked, and so we are discussing with the seller. You know, we really love it, okay, but I mean, we don't know. There's other properties. Right now, we're kind of gouging, you know, the interest, and as I said, we do have the means, and our members, they want to make that move. So if everything aligns, you know, we'll purchase something, but we can't give you any details at this point because we don't have any. Wool pants, because the clothing came from mountain area, so the environment, the climate was much harsher, and plus the whole culture developed around sheep grazing, and so they utilized the materials that were at hand. So wool, a lot of materials that came from especially sheep, but very natural and very expensive because it's all handmade. So he's probably wearing well over $2,000 on himself right now. So and women's clothing is even more expensive. Just so you get, but everything is handmade. So the Polish diaspora in Chicago supports the artisans in Poland because we purchased quite a bit.
I remember growing up when we used to go to a place in Northville. It was run by the Polish National Alliance. They had a swimming pool there, they had cabins for children to go to summer camp. Is something that you would like to do out here?
Właśnie nad tym myślimy. Czym większy plac by był, to wtedy moglibyśmy właśnie zrobić w budynku oprócz właśnie takich wydarzeń zewnętrznych tak jak PNA miało w Yorkville właśnie pole kempingowe, czy tak na przykład Fundacja Taty Wyjeżdża do Wisconsin, moglibyśmy stworzyć takie miejsce, gdzie młodzież przez lato mogłaby się spotykać na kamperach i właśnie przejmować, prowadzić jakieś wydarzenia związane i z naszą kulturą, ale i z Polską.
So just in English, I'm familiar with the Yorkville place, and it's still owned by PNA, if I'm not mistaken. And what John said was that it just depends on what type of a parcel we find. You know, the bigger, more land, more opportunities we'll have for these types of events. So at this stage, it depends.
I just wanted to ask, where in Orland in particular are you interested in right now? And how long of a time limit are you putting on actually having something built?
We did make an offer for I'm sorry? Oh, no, I mean, there's a spot right by I-80 and LaGrange, and I believe it's owned by St. Xavier University. I don't know more details. I forget the address right now. It's off the top of my head, but it's right in that corner. It's a very beautiful piece of land. We really liked it.
But we want to work with the price because the price is a little bit higher to us.
We heard 2 million? We have, someone here from Gaelic Park, so, that's one of the ideas. For everybody who's not been to some of the other places, everybody know Gaelic Park? So I think the concept is along those lines, where it's a cultural center, so we wish you luck.
Would the center be something like the Polonion Center that's up north, with like a concert venue and festivals and everything?
Well, we want to have enough space to host at least 1,000 people. I'm not sure if it's going to be in the form of an amphitheater like Copernicus Center, because Polish community already has Copernicus Center, and I don't think we want to compete with them in that regard. There's multitudes of differences between Copernicus Center and what we would be doing, because they're right in the city, Jefferson Park, and so they don't have they don't have barely any parking spaces, very, very tight spot right by the highway over there. We're looking to be more, sprawled out and have more space for different sorts of activities. So that's what we're looking at. But when it comes to the offer that we present, it's very rich. Probably, I would say, Copernicus Foundation has the taste of Polonia, then they invite different types of groups from Poland. From time to time, we actually have our own grown here in the United States children groups and very, very rich type of a program. In fact, currently, we have over 26 major events during the calendar year that we host at the Polish Highlanders Alliance in Chicago. So we don't really even have to bring in, entertainment from Poland. We have a very rich assortment of our own sort of homegrown entertainment and events. But once we make that move, most likely our offer is going to be broadened to different types of events that we were not able to hold because also our location in Chicago limits us to what we can do.
Why don't we take another question?
I think the village might want to take on, the month of March, a lot of our neighboring communities hold events, parades and things. Dingus Day celebration in Orland Park would be a wonderful thing. If you've ever seen any of the videos from like Buffalo and Cleveland and places like that, a Dingus Day weekend would be absolutely wonderful. I think it would be something to take up.
Chuck, just for the record, let everybody know your last name. He's biased. Chuck is biased.
Agostinian.
There you go. Longtime friend. Got it. All right, so then, you know what? We're going to stay. And by the way, gentlemen, thank you. Right? Thank you for making me.
Chris? But listen, so we're gonna end the program. Let's just kind of stay and talk. There's a lot of questions, I think. Let's engage with everybody. And thank you for coming out.